I call to order the high-level forum on the culture of peace. This high-level forum is convened to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace, and held in accordance with Resolution 78/277 of 2nd May 2024. I warmly welcome all of you to this meeting. As indicated in my letters dated 23rd and 31st July, the high-level forum will focus on the theme, cultivating and nurturing the culture of peace for present and future generations, and will encourage participants to reflect on the enduring significance of the program of action. In preparation for the Summit of the Future, participants are also encouraged to reflect on how to advance the program of action and ensure a brighter future for all. And now I will deliver the President's statement. Excellencies, dear friends and colleagues, I thank you all for joining today's commemoration of the 25th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Action on a Culture of Peace. Allow me to express my deep appreciation to the permanent mission of Bangladesh for its continued stewardship of this important event, as well as its ongoing commitment to promoting the implementation of this timeless declaration and program of action. When I assumed the presidency of this session, I anchored my vision on 4 watchwords to guide our work: peace, progress, prosperity, and sustainability for all. While I knew intuitively that peace was likely to be at the fore of the agenda, I planned to give heavy orientation to mobilizing global efforts to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and its SDGs, mindful that they were significantly off track. I had not envisioned, nor for that matter had anyone, at the time, the tumultuous chain of events that would unleash the profound turmoil that has overtaken the Gaza Strip over the last 10 months, and which imposed the recalibration of our priorities. Sadly, we have all borne witness to the escalating conflicts unfolding in Ukraine, Gaza, Haiti, Sudan, among others, elsewhere around the world. These challenges serve as a stark reminder that we should never take peace for granted, simply because security, calm, and stability can be dissipated literally without warning and be overtaken by confrontation and hostilities. That the absence of war is not, in and of itself, a guarantee for durable peace. Rather, we must instead conceive of and treat peace as a dividend of investment, an investment in education, in healthcare, in economic growth, in social progress, and in sustainable development generally. And that strategically it is during peacetime, when the potential for open, frank dialogue is at its peak, that we must work even harder to cultivate and nurture peace. Because all our shared progress, prosperity, and sustainability comes finally to rest on a solid foundation for peace and stability. In the visionary words of Mahatma Gandhi, there is no way to peace. Peace is the way. Excellencies, today's commemoration is a moment to recognize and to rededicate ourselves to the imperative of a culture of peace. a culture that embraces the 8 principles of the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace. And I enumerate them as follows: fostering a culture of peace through education, promoting sustainable economic and social development, promoting respect for all human rights. I repeat, all human rights. Ensuring gender equality, fostering democratic participation, advancing understanding, tolerance, respect, and solidarity, supporting the free flow of information, and promoting international peace and security. These are principles that, taken together, form the basis of a culture of peace, and the core principles that nourish and nurture said culture. For our efforts to be successful, they must, by definition, be collective and inclusive in acknowledging and embracing contributions of governments, development institutions, civil society organizations, youth organizations, academia, media, and of course, the UN system in promoting and ensuring a culture of peace. I recognize in particular the work of UNESCO and the UN Alliance of Civilizations for their tireless work to engage diverse audiences in a mission to promote peaceful coexistence. However, as a community of nations, we have much more to do. Ongoing conflicts loom larger, with some showing rapid escalation and growing tensions over this anniversary, and seriously threaten to derail any progress we can make across the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, also compromising peace and security for present and future generations. Gaps are widening precisely when they should be closing, as seen in the deeply entrenched unwillingness to engage in meaningful diplomacy and dialogue to create peaceful outcomes amidst extreme polarization and heightened geopolitical tensions. Excellencies, dear friends and colleagues, as we mark today's commemoration, we must recommit to work together to instill the values of diplomacy and dialogue, reconciliation, mediation, justice, inclusion, and equality in resolving any conflict or dispute. That begins with a process of genuine communication, talking to one another, not talking down to or talking past each other. It means a practice that we preach and demonstrating our own commitment to peace. As Bangladeshi Nobel laureate Mr. Muhammad Yunus once said, peace should be understood in a human way, in a broad social, political, and economic way. Peace is threatened by unjust economic, social, and political order, absence of democracy, environmental degradation, and the absence of human rights. Thus, as we look to the summit of the future, with such anticipation, let us reflect on how we can work to advance this important program of action across all of its focus areas and ensure a brighter, more secure, and peaceful future for all. I call upon all to foster a culture of peace at all levels, from early childhood education through to university curricula, ensuring that an enduring culture of peace is permanently inscribed into our consciousness and integrated into our sustainable development efforts. In a similar vein, I call upon governments to ensure inclusivity in policies and state practices, empowering all citizens to be agents of change and progenitors of peace. I thank you and I wish you fruitful discussions.